everyone, today we're going to be doing another Get Ready With Me. I've done quite a few of these recently. This is a hippo. He came to join us because I've gotten some requests for it and I like to do Get Ready With Me, so I think they're fun. I do them this way, so I did this eye already. I'm going to do this eye. Then we're going to take a minute. I'm going to finish my makeup and then we'll finish up, you know, like the under eye stuff, all the other important stuff. So first I've started my makeup looks a lot the same way. I do them very similarly with just different colors usually. But this is my Pan That palette, and I got some questions about how to use this navy. So this is one of the ways I use the navy. I use it a lot. I actually used it yesterday as well. But I'm going to start with the shade Inner Beauty, which is one of those like light pink shades. It's deeper than a lot of them. But one of those that I definitely looked at first and I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. Like, how in the world do you use this shade? And so I really like it as a transition, just to kind of smooth out my look, make it a little more seamless and blended looking. So there we go. Just roughly throw it up there. Then I'm gonna take just like a little crease blending fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade TikTok. So that is right here. I really like this shade as well for the crease. So again, I'm just gonna kind of put it up in the crease a little bit high, not super high, but I do have hooded eyes, and so if I put it higher in the crease, it's more likely that you're gonna be actually able to see my eye look, which is kind of the goal. You know, I don't do the makeup so you can't see it. Obviously, I don't think anybody would do that. So I'm just gonna throw it up in this crease here. See, there we go. It's just up in there. It's not very hard. You know, I like to have a really blended look. Sometimes that doesn't turn out as well as I like, but that's definitely the goal. I'm going to take this angled brush and go into the shade Beast Mode. Now that again is that navy right here. It's a very true navy, as you can see on my other eye. It doesn't show up black or anything like a lot of navies do, and it isn't patchy. I find that a lot of navies are really patchy. And I have done a full review of this palette. If you're interested in that, I'll link it below, as well as like my Project Pan playlist, because I have been panning this palette for quite a few months now, since January. So I think you can see that it's a really unique shade. It's got a little bit of green in it, but it's definitely a navy. It's not a black or anything like that. Like I said, I don't know. That's one of my like pet peeves, when you have a really deep shade and it looks so beautiful in the pan, and then you put it on the lid and it just looks black. And it's like, oh, cool. Thank you so much for that. That's exactly what I was hoping for. So I try to just do a third, but I usually end up doing like half of my lid. And then I take it and I kind of just try to push it all back into the corner. You can see that the shade does have some fallout. I really like to use this Luxie Beauty brush to get most of it. It's the 640 Pro Precision Tapered brush. That gets most of it. Then the rest of it. This is not super professional. Ugh, so I had to grab it. A Q-tip. Let's just be honest. Sometimes you gotta do that. Oh. So there we go. Then I'm gonna take a flat shader. This is part of an Urban Decay palette. I've made a whole video about how much I love their palettes. And I'm gonna go into the shade Imporess right up here. This shade, the goal is that I'm gonna hit pan on it this month, or by the 15th. We'll see. Today is the 3rd, 4th. And I do have a dip in it. But this shade is very purple, and this and I feel like it doesn't necessarily come out in the pan. I feel like that's true with a lot of shades in this palette, that they don't necessarily come out, or they look differently on the eye than they do in the pan. So I'm just gonna put that here. So today's look obviously is an all matte look, which I don't do an all matte look very often, but I do like it. I think it's cool. And I really like to put some over that junction between the two shades. As I say very often in these like kind of tutorial-y or get ready with me or whatever you want to call them videos, if you don't have this palette, you can make this exact same look with other shades. Well, yeah, let's be honest, we all have a lot of duplicate shades, you know. I'm just using that palette because I got a request specifically to use that. But I definitely watch tutorials sometimes and I'm like, I don't own that, but you can still make it work. Alright, so that's the lid stuff, and I'll be back in a minute to show you the rest. Alright everybody, so I have finished up the rest of my makeup, as you can tell, and we're going to get back into doing my eye stuff. So I'm going to go with this little pencil brush, and I'm going to go back into that shade Inner Beauty, that light pink transition-y shade. And I'm just going to brush that kind of roughly under my lower lash line. You can see that I do a lot of things kind of roughly. You know, makeup is makeup. I would like to be able to say, oh, I've got like a couple of hours every day to spend putting on my makeup, but it is 9:11 and I've got to go to a meeting at 10 o'clock, so, you know, it's not necessarily the case. So there you go, just kind of, like I said, just chuck it down there. Then I have to wipe this off. I'm going to take this brush, it's my liner brush, and I'm going to go back into that purple shade Imporess. And I'm just going to, oh wait, before I do that, I did this. I'm going to go and line that lower lash line with this. This is the Sephora eyeliner in the shade My Boyfriend's Blue Jeans. And it's a really nice blue. Just kind of a true blue. I really like the way that looks. So I put that down under there just to add a little bit more color. So again, I've got Imporess on this I've got Imporess on this brush. And I'm just gonna put it down there on that lower lash line. There we go. Easy. So then I'm gonna take this brush and go into the shade Dream It, which is just a white shimmery shade. Again, you can use any eyeshadow palette you want for this. And I'm going to go into that inner corner, so I just kind of put it down there. And work it a little bit on the lid, not too much. Because like I say, every time I like a very bright inner corner. Then I'm going to go back. I'm going to wipe off that same brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Swept Up, which is this black shade right there. And I'm going to just kind of coat my brush and very nicely line my lid. I just think that using a powder, I just like the way it looks so much more. There we go. I like it. So that's all done. Cool. Are we good to go? Yep, I think so. So now I'm gonna go with my what do you call it? Brow bone highlight. It's just a matte shade. It's the shade Chip In. And I'm going to, I forgot to do this side, just highlight that brow bone. Just a little bit. Kind of lift, you can see how it lifts it up. And then I try to do lots of things that make my eyes look bigger. I know you're supposed to like inner line with white, but I don't have very big eyes, so I try to accentuate it. And then I take it and just go right down the middle of the bridge of my nose as like a highlight, but it's a matte highlight. So I'm done with that. I'm kind of drooling. Oops. Sometimes I'll do that. Oh, and here's my mascara. It's the Rimmel Lash Accelerator mascara. It's just the one that I have open right now. It's not my favorite, but it'll do. I know people always say, maybe not always, but I've heard it quite a few times on here, you know, life's too short for bad mascara or like bad makeup. And well, I agree with that to a certain extent. Unless I really don't like something. I mean, I have done a declutter playlist. If you didn't know that, I can link it below if you're interested in seeing it. I usually keep most of my stuff because I spent money on it, so I would like to keep it. So, I don't do the lower lash line. I just don't like the way it looks. I just don't. Let me take down my hair. And there you go. That's the look for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any questions, requests, suggestions, comments, go ahead and leave those down below. And I'll just see you all soon. Bye.